Welcome to the Eventful Brands 2026 Intelligence Briefing from EventZR. Today, we're inside the United States sponsorship ecosystem, one of 117 reports in the series covering $87.5 billion in global event sponsorship. And the single most jaw-dropping stat to kick us off, the U.S. market alone accounts for over 37% of all sponsorship spending on Earth. It is the absolute apex of commercial strategy.
Right. If you're allocating sponsorship budget anywhere near this market or competing against brands that are, this is the intelligence that changes your next board presentation. Let's look at the baseline, setting the stage for 2027.
Okay, here is the real hook. In 2024, the U.S. event sponsorship market officially cracked $32.5 billion, and despite all the persistent inflation out there, we're projecting a surge toward $39.8 billion by 2027.
Which honestly defies traditional macroeconomic logic, right? Like, how does a mature market grow at a 7% compound annual rate without just collapsing under its own weight?
Because it's not actually hitting a saturation ceiling. It structurally invents new inventory. We're seeing this massive physical-to-digital bridge. We aren't just selling the same static stadium billboards anymore. Properties are unlocking entirely net new real estate, jersey patches, helmet decals, streaming overlays. When you digitize the physical environment, the total addressable market just continuously expands. Exactly, which brings us to case study 1. Right at the top of the Platinum tier leaderboard, Anheuser-Busch InBev is deploying an estimated $1,350 million annually. They hold these massive entrenched positions across the NFL and the UFC.
But the sheer dollar amount isn't the real insight here. It's their strategic pivot. After a highly volatile 2023, AB InBev fundamentally changed how they buy.
Yeah, they entirely stripped away the traditional soft metrics. No more paying for raw brand awareness or general stadium footfall. They are now demanding contractual performance guarantees tied directly to data-verified sales lift. Social positioning is out, ruthless commercial attribution is in. If you're a rights holder, listen up, because by 2027, this data-verified approach won't just be an AB InBev quirk. It is going to be the mandatory market standard for every single Platinum tier brand. And while those legacy brands are enforcing new standards, disruptors are completely rewriting the pricing models. Case study 2, the sports betting explosion. 5 years ago, this category barely existed legally. Today, DraftKings is deploying an estimated $650 million, and FanDuel is dropping $700 million annually.
This is aggressive, zero-sum market capture. Both of these operators are gold-tier sponsors now, and the competitive tension between them is fierce. They aren't just buying static logos, they are locking down real-time odds integrations, team-level data partnerships, second-screen dominance.
And because of that, they're the marginal buyers actually setting the market price right now. Their bidding war has artificially inflated premium rights fees across the NFL, NBA, and NHL by an estimated 15 to 25%. They're effectively setting the floor for everyone else.
But here's the commercial warning for rights holders. This tension is going to peak before 2030. As individual states start tightening regulatory controls on gambling advertising, those properties currently getting rich on betting revenue are going to face a massive correction.
Okay, let's execute a quick pattern break here. The EventZR data reveals a massive structural imbalance. 78% of all sponsorship spending in the U.S. actually comes from domestic brands, which is a huge concentration of American corporate marketing firepower. But that 78% domestic dominance actually obscures a pretty brutal reality for mid-tier brands trying to compete. Yeah, we call it the $5 million to $50 million dead zone, because premium sports inventory has been so heavily inflated by the betting operators and legacy Platinum brands, mid-market companies are getting entirely priced out of national visibility. By 2027, if you don't have a $50 million check to clear, buying meaningful national sports integration will be mathematically impossible. You'll have to find alternate routes. Hyper-targeted regional activations or sub-premium buys will be the only viable play for the mid-market to retain any relevance.
And those same brands causing the inflation at home, they are taking the exact same playbook abroad. Case study 3 highlights the eternal competitive tension between Coca-Cola with an estimated $1.1 billion spend and PepsiCo at $1.2 billion. Both are Platinum tier. They're fierce competitors domestically, sure, but together they lead a massive $3 to $5 billion global capital export. American megabrands are taking their domestic sponsorship strategies and aggressively deploying them internationally across the Olympics, the FIFA World Cup, and Formula One. Exactly. Fierce competitors at home, but internationally, they operate as this unified commercial force. What this proves is that U.S. valuation benchmarks, measurement expectations, and activation standards are effectively dictating international market pricing straight into 2030. The U.S. market isn't just large, it's the financial engine setting the rules for the rest of the world.
So if premium men's sports properties are saturated and inflating, where is the smart money actually flowing? Case Study 4 reveals the absolute greatest pricing arbitrage in the market today: women's sports. Just 3 years ago, this was categorized as a corporate social responsibility line item. Today, it's a commercial powerhouse. We are currently seeing a 40 to 60% pricing discount relative to equivalent men's sports properties. Brands like Ally Financial and Nike recognize this inefficiency immediately. They're dominating the NWSL with $15 to $20 million presenting deals. For that price, they're acquiring younger, highly affluent, and intensely brand-loyal audiences. But listen closely, because this pricing inefficiency is going to fully correct in the next 18 to 24 months. The window's closing fast. If you don't secure your founding partner status right now, you are going to pay full market premium by 2026. Now let's break down Case Study 5, which represents a massive technological disruption. Microsoft is currently a gold-tier sponsor, deploying an estimated $600 million annually, heavily anchored by their NFL partnership using Surface tablets and Azure Cloud Computing.
But they aren't just placing hardware on the sidelines anymore. This represents the vanguard of AI activation optimization. They are deploying artificial intelligence to track brand exposure in real time via computer vision, and they're personalizing live fan experiences seamlessly.
Right, and what that actually means in practice is utilizing dynamic stadium screens that adapt messaging directly to the specific crowd, or tailoring second screen app feeds synchronized flawlessly with the live action. The results are undeniable. Sponsors utilizing AI-driven measurement and activation are reporting a 30 to 40% performance gain over traditional campaigns. By 2027, the technology gap will be so severe that AI-activated sponsors will hold an insurmountable commercial advantage over anyone still relying on static brand placement.
So, bringing it all together, the Event ZR data makes one thing unmistakable. The market is ruthlessly bifurcating between brands that act on these structural shifts today and those that wait.
Because we have a massive mega event cycle approaching. We're talking the FIFA World Cup in 2026 and the LA Olympics in 2028. Waiting 18 months for this cycle to actually arrive will subject brands to severe pricing arbitrage penalties. We forecast a 20 to 40% inflation spike across all major properties.
The strategic mandate is clear. First, lock in your multi-year deals before that mega event inflation hits. Second, secure your women's sports founding partner status right now. Third, deploy AI-powered measurement to lock in performance guarantees. And finally, if you're stuck in that $5 to $50 million dead zone, abandon Tier 1 sports and aggressively target the white space and premium arts and music festivals where you can still achieve national dominance.
EventZR Intelligence works with brands, rights holders, and event organizers to optimize sponsorship portfolios using data no one else has. If you're making allocation decisions based on media value alone, you're leaving millions on the table. We build custom sponsorship intelligence for CMOs and boards. Start at eventzr.com or reach out to discuss how we can optimize your portfolio. This is one of 117 Eventful Brands 2026 briefings. Tag a colleague who allocates sponsorship budget. They need this. This has been an Eventful Brands 2026 intelligence briefing from EventZR. Sponsors smarter.